Hello.
Hi.
Hi. So I'm with my friend Erika, and you are going to show me how to make something I have never made before.
I can't believe that.
I know. What is it?
Chocolate mousse.
Chocolate mousse. It just sounds like I might make pudding, but mousse sounds fancy.
No. Who wants to eat pudding?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay, yeah, this is my my go-to chocolate mousse recipe. It has very few ingredients, but there are quite a few technique steps that I like to do that just adds a little something to this mousse.
All right.
Yeah. So the first thing we're going to get started with is we're going to whip the cream.
Okay.
And I like to do that first because I'm going to use this mixer bowl more than once. I'm lazy. I don't like to wash things. So I'm going to go ahead and whip the cream. And then,
Pro tip.
right. And then when we're done with that, we're going to transfer it out, put it in the fridge, make sure to keep it cold. And then we're going to use the same mixing bowl dirty to whip the eggs.
Whip the eggs. All right. You want me to start this?
Sure.
Fast?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I get it as fast as I can without it. Once you'll get fast enough, it'll start to spray out of the bowl.
Yeah. So I go a little slower first, and then so I get some bubbles.
Yeah. But see how it starts to spray?
Yeah.
So I usually don't want it to go everywhere. And I just whipped it to about what we call soft plop stage.
Soft
I
plop.
might even whip it a little bit more, but yeah. When you see when I lift up the whisk, it sort of like plops down on itself.
Yes,
but
it doesn't hold a
It's
peak.
still, yeah. And it's a little too soft. I'm gonna just whip it a little bit more.
Okay.
Okay, this is perfect.
Soft plop.
All right.
Well, I have made whipped cream before.
So this cream is perfect. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the fridge. Would you like to put this in the
yeah,
fridge?
I will.
Great.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Keep it nice and cold. Thank you. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and crack my eggs into the same dirty bowl.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if there's cream in there. It's totally fine.
Love it.
So this recipe is 2 whole eggs. These are large eggs.
All right.
Those in there. And then just 1 yolk. And I'm going to save the white. Sometimes I'll just throw it into my eggs in the morning or whatever. But yeah, I always try to save the eggs.
Don't throw anything out.
Nope. Put this back on the mixer and let it sit and hang out while I do the other steps.
And so what's next?
So the next step, and this is a little bit different in this recipe, is
Okay.
we're going to make a caramel.
Ooh.
And what this does is does 2 things. It's going to cook the eggs, which I like because a lot of mousse recipes
like a caramel syrup you're gonna like really hot.
Yes,
Is
like
this
you would make like an Italian meringue. something like
meringue.
That. Yep.
I've heard of
Yep.
that.
And it's really not that hard. I think it's going to look a little scary and intimidating, but it's really not hard at all.
Really easy.
But what it does, it also adds this really nice bittersweet component, which I think complements the chocolate really well.
Is this what makes
Gives
this different for you?
Yeah, for me.
Yeah,
It has a depth of flavor. You could also get a similar effect using like adding espresso or coffee or something like that.
I'd be good with that too.
Yeah. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and get this started.
All right.
So now I'm going to add just 3 tablespoons of water, and I want to pour that around the edges. Crystallization happens when any kind of like foreign object gets in contact with the sugar as it's cooking. And sometimes that foreign object can be just one crystal, like a piece of the sugar, and it'll cause it to kind of seize up and crystallize. If it happens, it's not a big deal. You can just go ahead and add a little bit more water and start over. But when you're making caramel, you don't want to use like a spoon to stir. You don't want to, if you need to stir it, you can swirl the pan. Another trick too to prevent it is to make sure that all of the sugar is nice and moistened by the water before you even start. So what I do, and this seems kind of weird, but I move the sugar around until all of the, I don't see any of the dry bits anymore.
Another pro tip.
Another pro tip. And so this is what it should look like when you start. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and cook this sugar. I want to start it on a little bit more of a gentle heat to begin with. And again, this helps to make sure that all of the sugar dissolves at the same time. And then once it's all dissolved and it's boiling away, I'm going to go ahead and increase that heat to high so that I can get a nice caramelization. But this is going to take a few minutes, so while that's going on, I'm going to go ahead and melt our chocolate.
Oh, sounds good. And we're going to melt these.
Yeah, we're going to melt that. This is 200 grams or about 7 ounces of bittersweet chocolate. I brought these from my bakery, so they're not chocolate chips. They're actually Calabo Yeah, chocolate for baking, but I wouldn't use actual chocolate chips that you would get in the grocery store, but I would recommend
What about like bar chocolate?
bar chocolate is great. Yeah, Ghirardelli is a great, I think you want to get a pretty high quality chocolate because it's the main, the star of the show here.
If you don't get these special buttons and you get the bar chocolate,
Right.
it's good to use a serrated knife
Yeah,
to kind of cut
exactly,
it, right?
yeah.
And now we're going to melt it.
You have made chocolate mousse
I've
before.
I've melted chocolate. I've melted chocolate. But two things. So you said at home, sometimes you put this on your pot like a double boiler.
Yeah, I
but
do.
I didn't have the right size pot, so we're going to use the microwave. Which
Yeah,
is
you
just
can
down
totally
here.
microwave. Just when you use a microwave for chocolate, you want to be really careful. If you can put it on 50% power.
Gotcha.
And I usually do it at 50% power for about a minute at a time.
All right.
And just stir it in between.
Well, we'll do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want to get any of that?
Yeah, so I'm just looking, so we're getting there.
Yeah, sometimes when it gets to a certain point, it's hot enough, and if you stir it, it'll just...
Yeah, the residual
yeah.
heat will like let it go the rest of the way.
Okay, so the chocolate looks great. It's all melted and smooth. And I'm just going to set that aside.
All right.
So now that the sugar is all dissolved and it's starting to bubble along really well, I'm going to go ahead and turn that heat back up, and this will help it caramelize a little bit faster. Yep, it's starting to get very light golden right now.
I see it.
You can see that?
Yeah.
And you can see I'm not using anything to stir this with, but I'm just
tilt the pan.
Yeah, just swirl it around. And you do want to be careful, and you can see that I chose a really deep pot for this.
Okay. Are we
because
gonna?
we're
is it
gonna add some water to this.
And it's gonna gurgle
Things
up.
are gonna get crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah, crazy. This is nice. I don't want it much darker than this.
Can I take a peek?
Yeah, can you see in there?
Yeah, it's nice. It's
light-
like
it's almost like a-
lovely golden.
Yeah. Almost like a coffee color.
Yeah.
All right, now I have 2 tablespoons. I like to use warm water. I'm gonna go ahead and pour this in, and it's gonna bubble and steam. You gotta be really careful. What this does is it stops the cooking process, and it thins it out just a little bit. It brings down the temperature so that we can add it to our eggs. And we just wanna wait till it stops bubbling like that.
All right. So far it's just our eggs.
Yep, it's just eggs, and I want to get them going just so they're a little bit foamy before I add the caramel.
Okay.
Okay, now the trick with pouring this in, or any hot like sugar syrup, is you want to try to get the spot that's between where the whisk is and the side of the bowl. If you go right down the side of the bowl, it'll just slip down and go underneath the eggs.
Oh.
Get too close to the whisk, and it just
Too much.
It splatters everywhere.
Just the sweet spot is where it
There
will
is
catch.
Yeah,
And this is what's cooking our eggs.
yeah.
All right.
Yep. You can feel the bottom bowl. It's quite warm.
Yeah. Thicker.
Yeah, it definitely gets nice and thick.
I think the thing I knew about mousses is a lot of them, a European version I've seen, had raw egg whites.
Egg
so
whites,
if
yep.
somebody's not wanting to do raw, this is like the perfect.
Yeah, that's what I like about it. And, you'll see it. It's nice and light and fluffy, despite not having that, like separating out the eggs.
Oh yeah. Okay, so we're adding
Yeah.
some beer.
Yeah, we're gonna add this nice milk stout.
And it has some coffee in
It
it.
does. It's made with coffee. I'm gonna eyeball that. It's about 1/3 of a cup. And we're gonna go ahead and add this to our whipped eggs, along with a little bit of salt. This is kosher salt.
A little pinch of salt.
Yeah, it's about like I think I would use. I think the recipe calls for like a 1/4 teaspoon of table salt, but I'm going to add a little bit more of the kosher salt because it's a coarser ground.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and turn the mixer back on and add this in.
Cool, cool.
And I just want to mix it until it's combined. I don't want to keep going because then it would start to deflate a little bit
we don't
because it's
wanna
so
lose that.
liquidy.
Gotcha.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and take this off. Doug, could you please grab the whipped cream that's in the fridge?
Got it.
Thank you.
Oh.
Okay. Actually, what I'm going to do, you can just set that aside. That's
it's
going to be
nice
the
and
last
cold.
ingredient. Yeah, I just want to
All
have it
right.
ready. Okay, so we have our melted chocolate, which you still want to be slightly warm. You don't
All right.
want it to chill up till the point where it starts to get
Right.
real thick.
It won't mix
Yeah,
in again.
right. And so I'm going to actually add about half of the egg mixture into the chocolate.
We're lightening it,
Yeah,
and then it'll incorporate better.
yeah.
Oh, I
I'm
smell.
gonna put that there so you can see. You can
I smell the beer.
You smell the beer?
Yeah.
And so now I'm folding this in. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut right through the middle of the mixture and then give it sort of a 45-degree turn and fold it over itself.
I get it. And so you're
Yeah.
really preserving a lot of the air that we already
Yeah.
whipped in the egg.
Yep, exactly.
I can see
This
that
would
the
be-
chocolate's
yeah.
disappearing.
Yep, and it's starting to come together and it looks kind of shiny.
Looks really good.
Yeah, see? We got there,
I would
finally.
have probably served it like this, but we're not done.
You could, but we're going to make it even better by adding this whipped cream. And I will say normally I would add the whipped cream to the chocolate, but I'm not a big fan of mixing in this bowl. So I'm going to just do it a little bit backwards and add the chocolate mixture right on top of that whipped cream.
All right. And then we're going to put these in little cups. Should I get the cups?
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right.
Okay. And again, I'm going to do the same folding technique. A little easier to see in this bowl.
Looks really good.
Cut half down, do a quarter turn. You just kind of keep going. Every now and then you want to just scrape around the sides.
It's a nice light color, even though it's got a dark caramel in it. And
it actually, and it's interesting because you'll see we're going to portion this out into little cups, but it actually darkens after it sets up in the fridge.
Okay. And so we're going to portion this out into 4 cups today. But it's maybe a little bit more than for 4 people.
You can get like 6 servings, I would say, maybe like 6-ounce servings roughly. And it is pretty rich. Yeah,
you want to share in this responsibility?
I would love your help. And I just, you don't have to be crazy about being neat. I find if I let it kind of drop in, I avoid getting it on the sides. But if you do get on the sides, it's not a big deal. You can just take like a wet paper towel and clean it up before you chill it.
I just think you just need to put more in the glass so you can't even tell.
So it's overflowing. Fill it to the rim.
I've already done it.
No, this was yours. You need to add more to it.
I do. I wasn't sure. And I already messed
trying to save the rest for yourself.
I already messed. I can see we're going to have extra. So while I'm doing this, let's talk about how long does this need to chill to set up? Like, what would you do?
It's fun. I usually, like in the bakery, I always make it the day before, but I would guess that these would take maybe, 3 to 4 hours, especially if you have them in individual cups, they'll set up faster. You just need them to get cold all the way through because the chocolate will set up.
Otherwise, if you eat it
now,
to
be safe,
which I'm probably going to.
You're going to eat it now?
Well, it's a little soft, right? But
go for it. Yeah, it's soft, but it's fine. It's totally, acceptable.
Oh my God. That is so good. It's like eating like a chocolate caramel, but in like a fluffy, cloudy way. Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. Okay, so it's been like 2 hours.
Yeah, and these look great. Nice and set up.
They're really, they're totally
cold all the way through.
Yeah, they're not how they were earlier. But they were not quite done. We want to garnish them, and you made a little extra whipped cream.
Yep.
And I have a little extra.
You made some. Yeah, we just shaved that chocolate with a microplane.
Okay.
But like I said, you can add really anything you want to on top. You can do like crunchy nuts.
All right.
I like fresh berries with this.
All right, I'll keep following you.
Yep.
Now you wouldn't want to put the whipped cream on earlier because it can kind of get weepy.
Yeah, it can separate weep. This would be like the finishing touch right before you serve it.
All right.
And I love these little cups too because I think it's really neat to serve dessert this way.
Beautiful.
Looks great.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, these look amazing. And
they do.
I could eat 2. Could you eat 2?
Oh, yeah, sure.
But we shouldn't.
2
right?
for you and 2.
We should invite our friends in. So
we should.
Your partners in crime that are going to help open your new bakery.
Oh, yes.
So Beth and Chloe, you want to have chocolate mousse with us?
If we have to.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
I helped make this.
There you
Did
go.
Oh, I'm so proud. You did a great job. This looks so good.
Okay,
Well, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you all for cooking with me today. It has been so much fun, and I hope we get to do it again.
Oh, sure.
Oh, definitely.
All right.
Thank you
all right.
for having us.
Cheers.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's better chilled.
You think so?
Oh, that is delicious.
That's hard to take.
So good. 2, 1. All right. I'll probably laugh.
We're going to make all kinds of noises, Beth. Don't
Oh
worry.
my gosh. And I'm going to stand a little closer than you think because it looks better. And sometimes I'm going to stand here, but it looks really good on camera.
Okay. Sorry.
Did I just do that?
There we
I
go.
did.
It's just so
That's
strong.
sting.
Okay.
That's in, yeah.
All right. It's really nice.
I love it.
All right, so we're going to go ahead.
We're going to add
Measure
some
that
beer.
out. Yeah, we're going to put a little ode to beer. That's great. And I actually like salt in my coffee. Sorry, I like salt in my chocolate. I don't put salt in my coffee. Unless I've had too much beer first.
Oh my gosh. We didn't get into this beforehand.
No,
yet.
I swear. This is our 5th take, but it's fine.